Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much everyone for coming back to my channel, and if you're listening in the podcast, thank you so much for listening. I'm here January 9, 2024. I'm here to give you breaking news. There's a situation that's happening right now in Ecuador, in the capital city of Ecuador, Guayaquil. And there is a situation happening that's very disturbing. In case you haven't heard yet, but apparently armed gunmen stormed into the university there in Ecuador. Also, they took over a TV channel while it was going live. And the images that are coming from Ecuador, they're quite terrifying. I cannot imagine a well-developed city like Guayaquil being stormed by armed gunmen, right? They're doing live television, people on TV, they're very well known, obviously, and this gunmen come in and they're making them go to the ground and put your hands behind your back, taking over the channel. They're also taking over. They took a lot of people hostage at a very known university in Guayaquil. Also, they also are burning people inside cars. Like I said, this is very disturbing what's happening. Apparently, even so, it happened a couple hours ago, but even so, right now the president of Ecuador is declaring Guayaquil as a under let me just give you the right statement that he just released. A statement saying that right now they're declaring an emergency over there in Ecuador. And I understand a lot of people cannot relate to this story because we see things happening. We're like, that's so far away from where I'm living. But let me just tell you, as we all know, we are living in the last days and things like this are going to happen. I think anybody who has seen prophecies of the end of the world and things like that, there is a chaos that tends to happen. It's biblical too, how we will go from city to city. It's going to be chaotic everywhere. And to see a city like Ecuador, you barely hear stuff from there too. To see a country like Ecuador, and to see what's happening there, the images that are coming, and to see now the president declaring a state of emergency over there because of local gunmen, gun related criminals have taken over, like I said, various parts of the country. They have stormed TV channels, studios. They have stormed into university, taking people hostages, taking people hostages randomly in the streets, burning them inside the cars. Like I said, there's a lot of footage coming from Ecuador and you can see it. It's complete terror, and that's terrifying to see that that's how they're dealing with right now. So let me just read to you this briefly. It says here, a live broadcast by Ecuadorian television station TC was interrupted on Tuesday by armed people with gunshots and yelling. It was heard on the live feed as President Daniel Noboa issued a decree declaring 22 gangs as terrorist organizations. Okay, the people, he actually said, the president said, before he sent out the decree saying, we're ready to take over. He said our National Guard in Ecuador is ready to control the situation that's happening, and kind of like an hour after that he's declaring in a state of emergency. So it is quite shocking how everything just changed so fast. Definitely a planned attack. This is definitely a planned attack because it happened. It's not like they just took over a TV station. They're like, we're gonna have our voices heard. It's multiple locations, and this is still happening right now. Like I said, the people were wearing balaclavas and mostly dressed in black, were seen wielding guns and accosting staffers before they cut off the live feed. So it was a live TV channel doing their normal broadcasting, like all these TV channels that we see on a daily basis, and they got stormed by armed gunmen, and the president called them terrorist gang members. And let me just see here, the national police said on social media that it was evacuating the public channel studio in Guayaquil, verifying the condition of the staff there and reestablishing orders. Police in Guayaquil confirmed 13 arrests, and police on social media posts show photos of young men lying on the floor with their hands zip tied behind their back. The incident followed the kidnapping of at least 7 police officers, okay, the kidnapping police officers, and a series of explosions a day after Novoa declared the state of emergency. So apparently last night, there was also a declaration made by the president over there in Ecuador about a state of an emergency, or I think it wasn't the state of emergency. He did that just today, like about an hour ago. He actually declared, when during the pandemic they were like, after 10 o'clock there's nobody should be out of their homes and things like that. So they kind of were heading towards this emergency that's happening over there now. And let me see here. It says here, the attackers entered through Gamma Vision reception, assaulting the staff there and leaving dynamite behind. News coordinator and reporter Fernando Flores Moreno said, "We were in a meeting and they alerted us that we should be hiding and that don't go to the stage and in the studio, obviously. We don't know what's happening. People are nervous. There are many colleagues from Gamma TV who are hiding." Let's see. I also heard, just doing a quick research before I came here and make this video, I also heard that there was some type of controversy over there about some famous or well-known person that was in jail that was released or was taken into custody. So I don't want to give too much detail about that because obviously I don't have all the details, but something was leading up for this to happen over there. Like I said last night, it was also a big situation over there in Ecuador. It says here, let me see if I get more news about it. It's just kind of hard to see college students coming out of the university running for their life. Let's see if I can get more information here for you. Ecuador is in total chaos as armed gang members have reportedly stormed University of Guayaquil. So if you know anybody, right, perhaps you know people who are going to study abroad over there. The University of Guayaquil was attacked today, and they were attempting to kidnap students. This is crazy because it's quite shocking that they chose at a university. When you're that age, you would think, I'm not trying to like give any ideas or anything, but it's kind of shocking to see them go after the university, not to like a elementary school. So it says here, the incident comes as a television station crews were taking hostage live on air. And let me see if I can get here. There are also videos circulating of execution being carried out. These people are doing a lot of harm over there in Ecuador. Like I said, it can get extremely graphic what's happening. Like news like this, you can, not trying to say anything, but when you hear about, storming into a TV station and like killing people, randomly killing people in the streets, you think that's something like where they're having a war right now, places like that. Like from my, and I'm Dominican, like hearing news from Ecuador is not really things like this that you hear about that. So definitely, they were just having a normal day in the college, in the TV station. Now they're being stormed out by all these gang members and being taken into hostage situations and even losing their life. Okay, like I said to you guys all the time, life is so unpredictable. Anything can happen. Get right with God. That's number one. It's just keep praying for Ecuador, and the reason also that I wanted to come here and speak about it was not the fact that these people need our help, they need our prayers, and hopefully the peace comes to Ecuador soon and they don't have to wait any longer. Like I said, the president said we are ready to, the president of Ecuador said we are ready to take over whatever situation is happening, and then an hour after he's declaring a state of emergency. So that says a lot to me. You just like my own opinion about it. So pray for the people over there, pray for peace, and I don't know. It's so hard for me to not think, just because it's not, I know you hear sirens and all of that right now going around here, but just because a lot of the times we think just because it's not happening outside our window, it's not definitely affecting us. You know, it is January the 9th, 2024, and this is happening in a country that you don't really hear things like that coming from there. And it's quite shocking, and I hope there are not going to be any copycats. I know here in New York they're protesting the war, they're shutting down tunnels and bridges and all of that. And one thing is to have your voice heard and all of that. I can understand that. And of course, you can compare the two groups to complete different groups, right? But I'm saying, like, there's so much going on, and it's almost like, wow, it's Bible prophecy after Bible prophecy that we see. Everything that came out in December about some famous church preachers, and I'm sure there's a lot more coming out. It makes you think, and you pause and you're like, wow, everything that we thought was going to happen like years from now, it's actually happening before our eyes. So this is another sign for anybody out there to get right with God, get closer to the Lord, and just, pray for people and just be ready, because, anything can happen. Life is so unpredictable. So thank you so much, Ren. Thank you so much for watching this channel and listening to the podcast. This is the news right now. Have a good night, everybody. God bless.